Hi guys, what's up? It's your girl Charla from That Girl Cooks Healthy. Today I'm gonna show you how to make this creamy coconut curry recipe using baked chicken. It's delicious, healthy, and super tasty. So let's get to it. So these are the ingredients that you're going to need. You're going to need some curry powder. Because this is a French Caribbean inspired recipe, I'm not using my Jamaican curry powder. I'm actually using a French Caribbean curry, which makes this dish different from my curry recipes. So I already made the curry powder and I will put a link to that so you guys can refer to that video. It's called Padre de Colombo. So I apologize for the pronunciation. As I said in the last video, I'm not from the French Caribbean, so I'm not very good at pronouncing it. It's basically a Colombo curry powder mix. So that is what you're going to need. You're going to need some chicken. So I'm using chicken with the skin on, so I'm actually using chicken thighs, but you can use any part of the chicken for this recipe. Sorry. You're also going to need some olive oil, some coconut milk, all-purpose seasoning, black pepper, pink salt, scallion, onion, garlic and ginger, some shadow bene, and also some thyme. So it has a combination of Eastern Caribbean, a little bit of Jamaica, and the French Caribbean for this recipe, and it's one that I just made up and I happen to like it. So I have my chicken thighs in a bowl and I've already washed and prepared it in the Caribbean way of doing that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to season my chicken thighs. So I'm going to add the Colombo powder, the curry Colombo powder, to the chicken, and then I'm going to add some all-purpose seasoning, some black pepper and pink salt. So it's not too much, it's just really simple at the moment, just adding those ingredients. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hands just to work it in, so just to work the dry rub in with the chicken. And once I do that, I'm going to put it to the side. You can leave it for a few hours if you want, but I've actually found that this recipe, I did it one day when I was in a hurry, and I actually didn't leave it like I usually do, and it still tastes just as nice. So you can leave it for a few hours or overnight, or you can use the chicken straight away. It comes out just as nice. So you just want to just work that in and then do what I said, either overnight or you can use it straight away. So for this recipe, I'm going to be baking the chicken in the oven. So what I'm going to do now is I have a baking tray with parchment paper. I'm just going to lightly just spray it with some olive oil spray, and I'm just going to use a pastry brush just to coat the surface of the parchment paper. So that's what I'm going to do. You don't need a lot, but it's just enough just to lightly coat the bottom of the parchment paper. So now that I've coated the parchment paper with some olive oil, the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to get some tongs and I'm going to place the chicken breast one by one on the parchment paper. When you do this, you don't want to overcrowd the tray, so you want to make sure that there is a nice gap in between the chicken breast so they get a chance when it's roasting in the oven to roast without being on top of each other. And you want it to be crispy, so we're just going to place them on the baking tray for now. So now I'm just going to get some of the cooking oil spray and just lightly spray the top of the chicken, and I'm just gonna bake it in the oven for about 30 minutes until it's nice and crispy and golden. So this is what the chicken looks like after it's been roasting in the oven. As you can see, the tops of the skin is nice and crispy, and most importantly, the chicken is completely cooked through. So I'm just going to put that to the side while I prepare the coconut sauce. So in order to prepare the coconut curry sauce, I have a large frying pan, or you can use a skillet, and I'm just going to pour some olive oil into my frying pan. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my onion, garlic, scallion and ginger, and I'm going to saute that until it's soft and tender. Because this isn't really like a Jamaican recipe or Trinidadian recipe, I'm not going to cook, or as we say, burn the curry first of all. I'm just going to saute my base ingredients until they're soft and translucent, and then I'm gonna add the Colombo curry powder. So now that the base ingredients are soft and translucent, I'm going to add some more Colombo curry powder, followed by my thyme and shadow basil. And what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to fold it in for about a minute or so with the base ingredients. So the next thing you need to do now is to pour in the coconut milk. And once you pour the coconut milk in, you just want to give everything a gentle stir, and you're then going to find that the color of the sauce is going to have a light yellow tinge to it as it starts to cook. So what we want to do now is we want to bring the coconut milk to a rolling boil. So you just want to turn that on high and wait for it to come to a rolling boil. So now that the pan has come to a gentle boil, what we're going to do now is we're going to allow the sauce to develop and the flavors to permeate. So we're going to just put the lid on, and I'm going to turn it down to medium low for about 15 minutes or so. So this is what the coconut curry sauce looks like after about 15 minutes. So I'm going to take the lid off and show you guys, and the color is going to be more pronounced as it cooks even more. So I'm just going to give it another stir, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some black pepper and pink salt. And when you add the black pepper and pink salt, you want to do a taste test as well, just to make sure you have enough black pepper and pink salt, and adjust accordingly. So now that the sauce is developed, the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take a tongue, and I'm just going to carefully lower the chicken thighs into the curry sauce. I don't baste the chicken because I think it looks really pretty in terms of presentation, and it's just my preference for this recipe. You can baste the chicken with the curry sauce, but I don't really recommend it. It's just not something I do when I make this recipe. I tend to just have it on the side when I'm serving it and serve around it because I'm very particular about this recipe. So once you've added the chicken pieces in the way that you want to, you're just going to leave it just to simmer for about, say, no more than 10 minutes, or like 5 to 10 minutes, just so it can take in some of the flavor. The bottom part of the chicken can take on some of the flavor of the coconut sauce. So this is what the coconut curry chicken looks like, and I'm gonna do a quick close-up so you guys can see it bubbling away. This is a recipe that is a must try, and I hope you guys do make it because it is really delicious. What I like to do in terms of presentation, I just get some thyme stems and some loose pieces of thyme, and I just garnish the top of the frying pan with the thyme. This is optional, but this is something that I like to do in terms of presentation. I think it looks really nice, so you can go ahead and do the same as me, or alternatively, if you're really hungry, you can just serve it just like that. But I think it looks really nice, and it really gives it that nice little culinary edge to it. So that's how you make creamy coconut curry chicken. How easy was that recipe, guys? Using roasted or baked chicken. It's a really delicious recipe, and one I hope you try. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the other side.